Kris Boyd believes that Celtic are heavy favourites for the title at the start of the season, but he must be on heavy gear because he reckons by the end of it, Rangers will be crowned champions.
I think obviously Celtic will start the season as heavy favourites. There's no Rangers will win it. So it's all going to change in Glasgow. It's all going to change.
Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and I think it might be a wee bit foggy with the view for Mr. Kris Boyd. Maybe somebody needs to wipe his glasses down because he believes that Rangers are going to be champions at the end of the upcoming season, despite the fact that he said Celtic are going to begin the season as heavy title favourites. So which one is it? Are Celtic the heavy title favourites, or does he believe that Rangers are going to overcome all the odds and be champions by the end, beat Celtic to title 56? Or maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe Kris Boyd truly believes at this moment in time Celtic are heavy odds-on favourites. However, over the course of the season, maybe he thinks Russell Martin's going to be able to turn it around and direct Rangers, lead that ship all the way to title 56.
All is set to change in Glasgow, according to Kris Boyd. But I would like to have just heard from, explain your working out, Kris. Seeing you write the answer down in the exam back in the day, you had to write the working out beside it, didn't you?
That's why I always lost points, because I never used to write the work. I would just write the answer, but they didn't like that.
Nah, and I don't like this for Boyd, because it's just pantomime pish. It's nothing more, nothing less. Why does he believe that Rangers can win the league?
It reminds me of these arsehole channels that, they obviously support a certain club, and every time they make their prediction video at the start of the season, they have to predict their team to win the title. It's like, why the fuck can't you just be honest? I ain't predicting Hearts to win shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see, why would it really hurt some of these people to just predict the other club from the other side of the city?
No, but see, as of right...
I mean, if you genuinely think Rangers are going to win the title, that's fine, but...
Yeah, but...
It seems to be every single year, if you're a Rangers fan, you predict Rangers, and if you're a Celtic fan, you predict Celtic. At least you could argue over the years. I mean, if you're predicting Celtic, then you've got fucking reason to. There's not many reasons, I don't think, to predict Rangers to win league titles.
No, absolutely not. I look at this season, right, maybe Rangers will have a great window, but that's the problem. There's been no signings. It's been Lyle Cameron, that's it. Max Aarons looks like he's coming in. Celtic have signed Doon, right? But how can you look at the two...
How pathetic is that, by the way, Doon and Lyle Cameron? I like Lyle Cameron, right? I think he's a decent wee player. And
let's not
get it twisted. Ross Doohan's simply there to make up a number, and that number's number 3, by the way. But he's not Billy Dodds, he's Ross Doohan. Shout out to Gordon Dalziel. But you're looking confused.
No, I get it.
Right. But yeah, it's not that blockbuster signing. It's not the Aaron Ramsey that got us a shitload of views and bought us that extension on the West Wing. Lyle Cameron and Ross Doohan, that ain't getting the extension on the East Wing.
Tell you what, we need AC in the West Wing. I'm fucking melting.
Ross Doohan's not getting your conservatory built. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. No, but no, honestly, right? You're.
I don't even think Ross Doohan's getting you a plastic bag at the Astor, for fuck's sake. I mean, at this point of the day,
you're as close to a neutral as you can get to this title fight here on Fog Football, right?
I don't know if I'd go that far. Like, I mean,
well, I said you're as close. You're as close, right?
One team
how can anybody right here, right now, say that Rangers are going to win the league next year when the squads haven't changed and Russell Martin is the only thing that's really changed at Rangers? There's a case. Well, I say there's a case. Rangers are weaker than at the end of last season.
Yeah,
they've lost Balogun, they've lost Hadji, they've lost Tierney, they've lost Casemiro,
and they look more
Lawrence.
They look more likely to lose more players before bringing any in. I said a couple of weeks ago that I was actually going to stick money on Rangers to win the league title. I think I've changed my mind.
You're going to stick it on then?
Maybe I'll take Hibs on the handicap or something. Hibs plus 40 points. I think it's really puzzling that Rangers... The squad this week, there's no doubt about it, right? That key players have left. People can say what they want about Tierney. Guy was a good player. Yeah. Guy was a match winner. When he was on form, he could be the difference between winning and losing a game. Do I think he would go in last year's team of the season? No, but I certainly think he'd be on the bench. He might not be good enough for a spot on the left wing or the right wing, but I think he was certainly, up next, so to speak. So, yeah, I think Tierney had a good year. You can say what you want about Lawrence and Hadji. Lawrence was always injured, but I do think that when he was fit, Lawrence had qualities, just maybe didn't show it all the time. Same for Hadji. I think when Lawrence and Hadji were at their best, they were decent players.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how good they were or how bad they. I mean, they've left and they've not brought anyone in to replace them. There's talk of Dessers leaving, and it's like, surely you bring somebody in first before Dessers goes. Even if you do bring someone in first and Dessers goes, you don't know how long it's going to take them to get up and running. You've got this massive game count against Panathinaikos, and I don't think Rangers are ready for it. There's all the controversy with John Suter. Is he ready? Is he not ready? We know that Russell Martin's come out and he believes that Suter will be available and that he will be ready for that game. But, I mean, even if he is, what's the partnership looking like? Because, I mean, at the moment, Robin Proper, or is he away? Then it looks like he's not away. The deal's kind of done. Balogun, he is gone. Maybe Ben Davis could come back. Would he be a Rangers player, or is he going to be permanently moved out or loaned out again? It's just a mess, man. You look at this Rangers team and you felt like, right, they do need reinforcement. Rangers needed to bring in players before anybody even left. And we've seen like about half a dozen players leave and they've not brought anybody in apart from Lyle Cameron.
Pre-season training begins on Monday, this Monday, 2 days away Monday. And we've got one guy in the door.
And I can't remember where it was. Might have been the Rabble, where I heard somebody say, I'm pretty sure it was the Rabble, I just can't remember who it was, but they says that players will need to leave Rangers before any players come in because of the size of the squad.
Bullshit.
What squad? I think the Rangers squad's very limited.
Yeah.
And even if they have numbers, I mean, in terms of quality, it's limited.
We've lost a lot.
The depth isn't there.
No, yeah, there is a lot of players that will return on loan. And I get that, but there's a lot of players that left.
Was it Gordon DL or was it Ross McCormack? One of them says they believe Rangers need to bring in about 9-10 players this season. Yeah. I'm on board with them. I think Rangers need to be doing that. But then when we heard Russell Martin come in, when he first came in, he says that he's only looking to make a couple.
Yep. Apart from centre mid, I think Rangers need players in every position.
Probably.
Because, yeah, ideal world, right? If Danilo was fit and firing, Dessers, Danilo and Igamani, I think, I want rid of Dessers. I'm not going to sit here and deny I want rid of Danilo as well. But if we kept those three and strengthened every other position, it wouldn't really bother me, to be honest. But the problem is, we need two wingers either side. We need about 3 centre-backs. Max Aarons is coming in, so that looks good. Apparently, Jack Butland can't play the Russell Martin. I say apparently he can't because he's not a ball-playing goalkeeper. Need a goalkeeper essentially, but again, not the area that I think needs the most attention. Left back, Jeff Day and Yilmaz. Yilmaz needs to go. Bring in someone else. Creative midfielder. Rangers don't have one.
I think
because they've let Hadji and Lawrence go.
I think Yilmaz is better than Yefty.
Well, you're entitled to think that, but he's injury prone and he misses a lot of games.
I think they could maybe suit Russell Martin's style of play.
Point is, folks, I just don't understand how Kris Boyd can well, he's not really confident. He's just doing it for the fucking wind-up. Who are we trying to kid here?
I mean, at this point, it really could be James Tavernier at centre-back with John Suter.
Yeah, but
until someone else comes in.
See if Rangers had done what Hearts have done this summer and signed a lot of players, and I'm not talking about the exact same 6 players Hearts have signed, right? But see if Rangers had brought in 5 or 6 guys, you'd be a bit more confident.
I think Stuart Finley's a good addition. I know Rangers fans would have, held their nose up at the guy, but I think he's... I mean, even someone like a Declan Gallagher, you tell me he couldn't be like a 4th or 5th choice just to fill out the numbers.
He's away to Ross County, isn't he?
Yeah, but before he went there, I mean, Declan Gallagher, he was the captain for Dundee United last season.
He's better than Robin Proper, so...
And he pretty much played every minute. I don't understand that one. I mean, there is like decent players out there.
But Chris Sutton said yesterday that, holy moly... Chris Sutton said yesterday, right, that Celtic should blow Rangers away in the transfer market. But do they need to? It's almost like it's not like Rangers have went out and spent 20 million already.
I think the Celtic team needs improved to obviously get better. No shit. But I don't think it needs to improve, really, to stay in front of Rangers.
I think they're only going to spend lots of money, like truly lots of money, as if Rangers win a league. And then they'll be like, right, we need to spend. I think that's the only time we're going to see it. But Kris Boyd had a few other comments to say, yes, what he had turned to and said about Martin. Martin speaks so well, he's clear on his messages and he knows exactly what he has to do. But there's one thing having that, but they need to get players in, and Rangers fans are already beginning to ask, where are the players? They're going back on training on Monday, and you want to see players coming in, you want to see the group improve. There's no doubt about it, it has to improve, because last season, once again, wasn't good enough. Rangers have shown that they can beat Celtic, but over the course of a season, Celtic are so far ahead in terms of the strength and depth they already have. Rangers need to get back to having players as competition for places because it does improve everyone else. End of quote. Right. Is he no contradict himself? Just listen to this. Rangers have shown that they can beat Celtic over the course of a season. Celtic are so far ahead in terms of the strength and depth they have. I mean, right, well, wait, what he said was they can beat Celtic, but not over the course of a season because they are so far ahead in the terms of strength and depth. So how can they win a league then with no improvements, no signings?
I mean, the only thing I would say is Rangers are still really yet to beat Celtic in a meaningful game, aren't they?
Yes.
I know that they had that Michael Beale one, right? And that was a big win for them and whatnot, but I still think, and then like obviously Clement 3-0, but I think by the time the second Old Firm league game came around last season, the league was already over, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was double-digit points.
Yeah.
I think it was 16, actually.
No, if you actually believed in yourself, like maybe Rangers could have done something, but we all knew it was done.
Yeah, no, but I still believe the last win that Rangers got that was meaningful in terms of either winning a trophy, knocking them out of a cup, or winning a league match when the league was still realistically up for grabs. I still think you're going back to that Gio Fan Broncos semi-final.
Which is fucking insane. 3 years ago. Come on. Relax.
I mean, Clement, great win. I mean, it was fantastic. I thought Rangers were brilliant last season, that 3-0 win game. Barry's win, great. But at the end of the day, I mean, the league was... Not saying it was a friendly, but it was fucking wrapped up.
It was wrapped up. Anyway, this video's getting wrapped up.
The most important game is... I think the most important Old Firm game, and it's been proven over the seasons, it's the first one. Because because they always seem to play on match day 4 or around that fixture. Realistically, how far can you be behind?
No.
At the worst case scenario, you're 9 points behind, but you're not going to be 9 points behind. So I would say the first Old Firm fixture in the league is always going to be important. It's always going to be a competitive tie because the league title, the league race is still on, and Celtic always seem to win that one.
They do.
But
this one's at Ibrox.
Or at least they don't lose it. But yeah, this one it is at Ibrox. So I think if Rangers win that one, then all of a sudden you're like, all right, well, maybe Rangers do have Celtic's number. But until then, unfortunately, it's just a case of, yeah, Rangers have showed they can beat Celtic, but they only beat them when it doesn't matter. See those, you would. I don't care what you say. See the Barry Ferguson League one and the Clement League one. See as impressive as they were, especially the Clement one. I think you'd take losing both of them if it meant Rangers won that League Cup final.
Oh, fuck that, it's a trophy.
So that, it's like the one that mattered, they didn't win.
You never want to lose a
Due
game.
to a dodgy decision, by the way.
And
Yilmaz shitting himself.
He shat himself.
Must have had a dodgy kebab or something.
Do you believe that Kris Boyd believes Rangers can win the league? He doesn't.
Nah, but he's just like a certain somebody that talks down to people. He's got to back his team, don't he? So
I know.
You know what I'm saying, guys?
Oh, are we dig being fired out there for the Jambo
I
Belt?
don't lie to you guys. This is the channel. Not like all those other channels. Cause I'm a Rangers bear or whatever they call it, or Jambo bear.
Oh, that's what you are, mate.
I will.
Don't know if that's what he is. Anyway,
He's a fud.
there you go.